There's nothing quick. When I was growing up, one of the foods I hated when we were cooking was githeri. I did not hate githeri. I hated the cooking process. Because I knew the day we are cooking githeri, I'm not playing football. Because our parents used to take maize and beans take maize and beans and put it on in the pot and put it in the fire, and then they will tell you, nimeenda sokoni. Hiyo githeri ikiungua, utaniona. That thing ilikuwa inaiva na 6 hours, which meant you had to stay in the house for 6 hours to watch that githeri, adding water, mpaka iive. But now, there's githeri in the supermarket. Hello? Sisa hii munaingia Naivas na Quickmart na hizo supermarket, munachukua githeri na kwa nyumba na karanga inaisha. When I was growing up, chapati was gold. We only saw it over Christmas. Watu wakule ishe. Unacheza tu karibu na home, siku hiyo wendi mbali. Siku hizi mnakula chapati Tuesday saa 5, mnabai kwa barabara 10 bob. Everything has become quick. The unfortunate thing with that is that many of us have brought that process into real life. That you think that everything in life is quick. And the challenge about that we were talking about yesterday is your social media space. Check 2. All right. So we bring the same process where? In our real life. And like I said yesterday, social media will lie to you. Bwana sifiwe. Because you see people with things and you think some of these things have come in that quick. So the value of working hard has been taken out because people want things quickly. Bwana sifiwe. Working hard helps you to go through the process. Because you tell them going through the process. It helps you to go through the process. If I was to take you right now and put you on a plane or a helicopter and land you at the top of Mount Everest, you'll not survive for 2 hours. You will die. But I will take you to the foot of the mountain and allow you to walk and climb that mountain diligently. When you get to the top of the mountain, you can survive for some days. Do you know why? Because as you climb the mountain, when the weather changes and temperatures change, your body begins to adjust to the change. The unfortunate thing is when I take you to the top, the change is too drastic. Bwana sifiwe. When we don't work hard, sometimes it is too drastic for us. That's why you realize people who win MPESA, these gambling things, they'll win 200 million. In 5 years, they'd be worse than where they were. It was too drastic for them. But if I was to take a janitor, do you know who a janitor is? If I was to take a cleaner and take them to Safaricom, and they began cleaning, and they got promoted, and they did a course, and they got promoted, and they did a course and got promoted. In 10 years, even if they were CEO, they will run that company effectively because they have gone through the process. And that's by working hard. Bwana sifiwe. Tell your neighbor, in life, There's no microwave. I wish I'd tell you. I've been here for a few years. I wish I would tell you it is quick, it is fast, it is easy. It is not. It is a process. Bwana sifiwe. What do I mean by that? If you are in school now, focus on school. Work hard in your school place. If you're in university and college right now, focus on that space. Work hard in that space. Be diligent in that space. If you just cleared university, you're trying to look for work, you're trying to build yourself, begin to work hard to build yourself. Bwana sifiwe. We are never rewarded for showing up. We are rewarded for showing out. And showing out is how we do things. Are we together, friends? Number three. You must know who has put that dream in your heart. So Joseph is working in Potiphar's house, and Potiphar tells Joseph, I have left you in charge of everything except for my wife. You're in charge of everything except for my wife. And so when Potiphar goes to work, his wife looks at Joseph and begins to admire this young man. And he tries to entice this young man to have relations with him. It is interesting what Joseph says. He says, my master has left me in charge of everything in this house except for, he says, how then can I do this thing and sin against my God? That's wrong English. Because that sin was not against his God. It was going to be a sin against Potiphar, because it is Potiphar who told him, you cannot touch her. But Joseph understood that even me being here, it is not about Potiphar. It is about God. I will do everything in my power. I will do everything in my life, not to please Potiphar. I will do well by Potiphar, but I will please God. Who has put that dream in your life? Is it God? Or is it your brother? Or is it your father? Or is it your mother? If it is your father, do everything to please your father. The unfortunate thing is this. When your father dies, that dream dies. I pray that it is God that puts that dream and vision in your heart. Because God... Bwana asifiwe. I have seen people, Brian, I went for a graduation, medicine. He was in school for 7 years. It is 7 years, 5 years plus I don't know what plus. It's like 7 years. It's like 7 years, yeah? And he went for graduation. On the graduation day, this is what the young man said. Tumeongea, tumemsherekea. The young man said, I am very grateful for all of you coming. I never wanted to become a doctor. That was my father's dream. So this degree is yours. I am going to become a DJ. It's real story. Why? Because the dream he was living was not his. I pray for you that God will help you to understand who has put that dream in your heart. That it is God who has put that dream in your heart. Joseph's issue was, it didn't matter what was going on. There's somewhere I am going. It is God who has pointed me that way. I will do everything I can. If it means to run away, I'll run away. If it means to step out, I will step out. But he said, I will not sin against my God. Bwana sifiwe. Please don't take shortcuts. There are no shortcuts. When God has put that dream, he'll let you walk the journey. The interesting thing with God is this. And this is not just for even some of us, our lives. You see, David is anointed king, but he goes back to look after sheep. Joseph is given a vision that he shall become king. Then the next thing that happens to him, he's thrown into the pit. God will show you the destination. He will never show you the journey. Because if God showed some of you the journey you have to take to get to where God is taking you, some of you will quit today. Look at your neighbor, tell them, neighbor, the journey is going to be long. There are going to be some mountains, going to be some valleys, going to be some dark days. Talk to the neighbor, tell him there's going to be some dark days. There's going to be some light days. There's going to be some difficult moments. There's going to be some good moments. But I assure you one thing. If God is with you, you shall overcome to get where God is taking you. That's a reality. Bwana asifiwe. If I was to tell some of you my journey, one time in church, I met this young man who looked at me he looked at how I was dressed. He looked at and he told me, yo, Maze Rev, Maze mingetaka maisha yako. I stopped and parked and told him, young man, hautaki maisha yangu. Unataka zile vitu unaona. Don't look at the glam. Walk your own. Bible says, for I have fought a good fight. I have run my race. I have kept the faith. The challenge we are trying to run every other person's race. Joseph understood his race. He stayed the course. That even when he was in prison, when he was was in the pit, he did not fight. He stayed the course. When he was in prison, he stayed the course. In Potiphar's house, he stayed the course. He understood the assignment. Do you understand your assignment? Bwana asifiwe. If you go to compete in the, let me give for example, 200, and they find drugs on you, they will strip you of the gold. If you step on the other line and didn't stay on your lane, they will disqualify you. It doesn't matter how fast you run. What am I saying? Just run your race. Just run your race. Just run your race. Young people, run your race. I wish you knew, I wish someone told me this earlier. I ran other people's races. It was heavy. David went before the king, and the king tried to put his arm on David to go fight Goliath. And he told him, man, I can't. Hizi vitu sijazoea. Mimi nazoea tu mawe. Nipe tu mawe zangu tano. He said, you know what, king? That's what you do. This is how I do it. You don't have to be that which you are not. Do everything in your power to please that person. Do everything in your power to please that person. Number 4, you must walk the whole walk. You must walk the whole walk. I want us to look at the first part where we meet Joseph. And he says, I have a dream. I have another dream. But after Joseph went through the pit, after Joseph went